Oh, welcome! I love doing these weekly Mandalorian reviews. This is, of course, spoilers. It says it in the title, so just hold your horses if you're going to get annoyed and all of that. It's right there. It's clear as day. Love this episode again. Oh, good God. It just gets better and better and better. It's not even necessarily that. It just stays on par, right? And I think a lot of people will probably accuse this of more fan service. A little bit like last week's episode with the AT-ST. But I stand by the fact that, no, I don't think it is. I think they've set it up narratively that there's just no way that it'd be fan service. In my head, anyway. Or maybe I'm forgiving it because, I don't know, I like it so much. Who cares? And I can already hear it because there were genuinely comments about last week's Mandalorian review and obviously the episode itself saying that Cara Dune, I got her name right now, the Cara Dune character was absolutely, strong female, a bit woke and all of this. And I'm like, what? Really? I couldn't believe it. And I know that there'll be comments about that in this week's episode, despite the fact that that female character does get shot and killed. But whatever. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this episode. It's so good. This was a Dave Filoni directed episode again. So he did the first one, the pilot. And there's definitely, there is absolutely without a shadow of a doubt, a very clear as day, aesthetical change between each director. It's very subtle, but I still say it's kind of clear as day. You know this is Dave Filoni directing it, and you know that he's bang on par with like the original sort of trilogy and how the aesthetic is there. So we open up with a gunfight in space. Very well done. I tell you what, it's hard to not look like the prequels, isn't it? Right? It's hard to not look like the prequel trilogy, but they manage it. They look like the original trilogy when they're doing this space battles. And it looks good. It looks believable. As believable as a space battle can look, I guess. And it just looks really, really good. And this back and forth banter between him and Baby Yoda, the Yodeling. It's so sweet. I love it. I want my own Baby Yoda. I really, really do. Now, that obviously ends up in his ship being not destroyed, but it's damaged. So where does he go? Well, look, the clue is right here. Over here somewhere on the screen. I can see it. You can see it. He goes to Tatooine. And this is where I think a lot of people will probably mistake it for fan service. But I really do disagree. Because he's wanted by everyone. Where is he going to go? To the hive of villainy and scum in the universe, right? I mean, that's where he's going to go, isn't he? Or the galaxy or whatever. Of course he's going to go there. It makes sense. And I did complain in one of my reviews saying, I'm sick of seeing desert planets. Because I am. But this worked, and it was nice to see. I didn't begrudge it. And I'm hoping that a lot of people that just kind of rag on the show and hate on the show will start to realise that the things that they dislike or the things that they think that they want to see and the things that they think they don't want to see doesn't actually matter. Like, just give it a chance. You'll probably like it. Like, I've done some roundtable reviews with the guys from Midnight's Edge. And there's some guys on there that are like, give us a Darth Vader prequel. And I'm like, but these are the same people that are complaining about fan service. And they're complaining about stories that go nowhere because we've seen them before. And it's like, well, I get all of that. But what you think you want versus what you actually want when you see it, something completely different. So anyway, it goes to Tatooine. We see the little repair droids that we've seen before, which I think were first seen in the prequels. I'm pretty certain. Anyway, they were cool to see. Nice to see them again. And he's obviously, he needs to head out, needs to repair his ship. And in doing so, he needs to obviously get some money. So he goes to a bar. He doesn't go to the cantina, which was great because goddamn, can you imagine hearing that song again? That would have been fan service. This is what I mean. They tread a very fine line between introducing things for narrative purposes and actually doing fan service. If they showed the cantina and they had that band, that would be fan service. That would be fan service all over. Absolutely. Like, you can't even deny that. Now, he obviously asks one of the server droids, where can I, I'm a hunter, where can I get some work? And he's like, no, we don't, the Bounty Hunters Guild doesn't operate here. And he's like, no, I don't want the guild, I just want some work, sort of thing. Now, there's a bounty hunter that overhears him, soon to be member of the guild, And he decides to join forces together to hunt down some mercenary, a woman. And this is who I think where I think people will probably go, that's woke. Because the woman's a bit of a badass and does, you know, almost kill them and stuff like this. But she gets shot, so clearly it's not woke, but whatever. Now, from there, this sets up the fact that this guy's going to double-cross Mando. Because of the woman as well, mind you. The woman informs this other bounty hunter who's trying to get into the guild that the Mandalorian basically shot up the guild on Navarro was the planet. I think I'm right in saying that, which, funnily enough, there's a car called the Nissan Navarro, so that was quite funny. The little piece of information for you there. And basically says, if, you know, we can take the Mandalorian in, he's worth more than me, so let's do that. Spare me and we'll take the Mandalorian in. The dude obviously double crosses her, bang, shoots her dead, and then tries to go and essentially bring Mando in because he had spotted the baby previously, baby Yoda, previous to all of this. And yeah, that's basically the story. Mandalorian kills the dude, gets his ship repaired and buggers off. In doing so, makes some friends, and that's it. Now, the reason why I say that there's some really, really cool moments because of Dave Filoni. He does these swipe-aways, which are, I mean, they were the original trilogy swipe-aways. You know, scene transition swipes and stuff. And normally, again, this is one of those things what you think you're going to want to see versus what you think you don't want to see. When you say swipe-aways, you go, that's outdated. That's trash. Why would you include that? But you see it and you're like, this looks really cool. It looks great. Speeder bikes, really cool to see them again. Cool to be on Tatooine again. Just a nice little expansion, I think, to the lore. Baby Yoda doesn't really do too much in this, but again, he's still the very center piece to this series. He's very, very important. Really, really, really important. He's realistically, he's like the main reason why people end up liking Mando, the character. And, you know, because it was in the last episode as well. He's the main reason. He's almost a human aspect to the Mandalorian here. Very, very human aspect. It was a really, really great episode. And then it closes with something interesting. Now, I couldn't quite see it because it was a really, really dark scene. But it closes with someone with a cape walking up to the dead mercenary. And there was like a clink, clink between them. Now, there's a few people that have been wearing capes in this show. Werner Herzog's character has a cape. Could be him. I don't think so, but could be him. Carl Weathers' character has a cape. Could be him. I'm pretty sure he's got a cape anyway. Like, I'm pretty certain. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it could be him. It's on Tatooine. Could it be Boba Fett? I don't know. Could be someone wearing the Boba Fett armor. I don't know. But I couldn't really tell. I couldn't really see. But it's all armored up by the looks of things. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to hear your kind of thoughts and theories on that, who that it was at the end. But it's definitely teasing something, isn't it? It's setting something up. So I love this episode. The cinematography was great. All of the effects were good, actually. It's been one of my complaints here and there is the effects are a little bit wonky. And what I've always said is that I don't care because I am engaged. It looks solid. It really looks solid. I think my first few complaints, I'm not sure where they came from. Maybe the effects in the pilot weren't so good as other. I don't know. I think it all looks great now. Maybe I'm just being swayed by the fact that I'm so positive about the show. But it looks great. I really, really did like this episode. I'm so on board week to week to see what happens. So, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you think it was fan service? If you thought it was fan service, do you agree with my thoughts now that it's not? I'd love to hear them. So please do let me know down below in the comment section. And what do you think about Baby Yoda? What's going to happen? What is going to happen? Because they've moved the last episode before Rise of Skywalker up a little bit. And apparently there's a teaser in there for the Rise of Skywalker or something along those lines. So they are going to connect it somehow, I think. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe and stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news, and these weekly Mandalorian reviews by hitting the bell notification icon. As always, though, guys, if you like this video, please do give it a like and a share. It really does help me out. But as always, I've been Mr. H. Take care.